Hi everyone, welcome to my second video. I'm Serenity Liu, a middle-aged researcher who somehow decided to try making money by making games, and to upload the whole process to YouTube as an almost complete beginner. In this episode, I'll start talking about how I chose and start making my first real game. Okay, the game you see in the background right now is not the game I'm making. Got to, right? It is the only survivor of my old small project that I mentioned last time.
Over the years, I also followed many YouTube tutorials and made small game demos. They were quite fun to make, but after a while, to save hard drive space, I deleted almost all of them.
I think it's perfect to serve as a video background. Like I said in the last episode, I decided to start with a mobile game because the potential audience is large, the scope is small, and it's probably easier to publish. In the end, I chose an Endless Runner arcade game. The reason is simple. It seemed super easy to make and finish. At least I thought so. I really enjoy watching other people play those Endless Runner games. But when I play it myself, I'm just terrible at it. Normally, after failing quickly a few times, I just quit. So I thought, what if I make an Endless Runner game without death punishment? I thought this idea was brilliant. People can always keep playing. It seemed like not many people were doing this. I was, at the time, stupid enough not to realize how complex this idea actually was. When I started thinking more about how to make the game fun, I realized something a bit awkward. I actually haven't played that many small games before, and my brain went completely blank. So I started researching, trying games, watching videos, and somehow ended up playing games for 2 weeks. Eventually, I chose a simple strategy: get inspiration from my favorite games. I really enjoy Mountain Blade, and slashing enemies while riding a fast-moving horse is super fun. So I wanted to make the game about that. I created the project and coded first real game. The idea is, hitting enemies rewards you with speed, speed increases damage, and getting hit or missing enemies slows you down, but you never die. I managed to make something like this. Roughness aside, it just didn't feel fun. Something felt a bit off, but I couldn't figure it out back then, so I pivoted quickly. EVE Online is also one of my favorite games, and sometimes I find that just by watching the ship fly so fast is already kinda fun. So I switched to a spaceship tunnel runner, something that feels like warping. Similar idea, speed equals fun, punishment is only slow down, no death. This time I coded finish it, and things looks much smoother. The process itself was pretty straightforward. I created a cute little ship, added basic controls, built the tunnel segment, and then I forgot to record the rest. Anyway, I added the tunnel spawn logic, random buff items, simple UI, the camera filled a few kicks for acceleration feedback, then a time limit to get a temporary game loop. And this already looks pretty fun, I think. The FOV kick is a bit too much though. In the end, I changed the control from keyboard to mouse and finger drag, changed the buff item to debuff item, and added acceleration rails, as well as some visual effects and coins. I also made a somewhat not very handy curve shader to visually bend the scene. And then I got a minimum viable product that actually looks pretty okay. Right now, the curvature is still fixed. I didn't design how everything spawned yet, and the warp particle effects don't work with the curve shader yet, so they look weird. Well, even this very basic implementation took more work than I expected. Though the process itself wasn't too difficult, since nowadays we can easily borrow power from you-know-who. To be honest, I personally felt pretty good about the MVP. Even though it was super rough, I still played it repeatedly for many runs, and it felt very satisfying. I thought I could just make it somehow run endless and finish it soon. But then I just couldn't think of a reason to keep playing. At this point, I finally started to realize something felt fundamentally wrong with the whole idea of no death punishment in an endless runner game. There's a good reason why very few people do this, and making games as a kinda beginner felt a lot like me doing research in the beginning. I think I've found a somewhat original idea. I start working on it, it feels promising, then I run into some fundamental challenges that I stupidly wasn't aware of from the beginning. So I browse through papers online and suddenly find that somewhere, with keyword I didn't search before, someone has already published something similar and did it perfectly. I find this video. Damn, that looks good. And it's exactly the same idea as mine. I mean, literally the same. Tunnel runner, no death, acceleration rails, camera FOV kicks, a countdown timer, and they even have a boss fight. And everything is perfect. Well, at least this proves my idea wasn't completely stupid, but their game also didn't solve my problem, since it is a level-based game, and they even completely changed the gameplay in each level. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anywhere to actually play this game. I was totally out of ideas. Once again, I fell into endless browsing, and then I saw this.
If you fail at making an arcade game, then you should probably consider taking up interpretive dance or maybe bird watching.
Yeah, birds are cute. The only thing that I can think of right now is to increase the remaining time with coins or other items so that you have to actively collect them to continue. But it still doesn't feel right. I think I'll save this to next episode. If you have any suggestions, please also leave a comment. Looking back, there were actually a lot of problems during this period. Procrastination, distraction, and lack of experience. My original plan started on November 30th last year, but the first video didn't come out until January. Game development was also delayed for quite a long time. While trying games, I experienced the joy of automation games for the first time and played for days. And then I wanted to make one myself. Of course, I quickly shelved that idea, but if any of you are interested, maybe I will restart the project someday. Forgetting to record was also a pretty big issue. I'll try to build better habits in the future. Okay, that's everything for this episode, basically. I know the first video wasn't good, especially when I kept talking while the slides were completely static, extremely awkward. So I spent some time learning some basic editing, and I hope this video is more enjoyable to watch. I got 156 views, 12 new subscribers, and a total 2.6 hours view time for the first video. I'm really grateful that people were interested and willing to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, even if it is a PowerPoint presentation. Since the goal from the last episode hasn't been fully achieved yet, I will just keep it for now. Oh, and I forgot to say this last time. Happy New Year! As the holiday season ends, my workload will increase. But I'll try my best to keep developing and uploading. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.